Okay, I don't know how we're still here, but we are still here. We are still here with terms of COVID-19. I found a really interesting clip on Twitter from ABC this week. They interviewed just some regular folk about COVID-19 and their thoughts about it, their feelings. Well, let's just watch it and then we'll come back and we'll discuss it.
Americans in the aftermath of the election, I found many who continue to downplay the pandemic.
Absolutely.
Do you not wear a mask because Donald Trump
No,
hasn't
absolutely
made it?
not. No, because that's I just don't believe in them.
Same thing with me. I mean, can the masks really defend a microbe coming through the weaving of the fiber? I kind of doubt it.
No.
I really doubt it.
Do you guys just not believe the scientists on this?
No.
No, I believe COVID is real. And COVID is absolutely real. Like I said, I just lost my cousin. You know, I never thought that the disease was worth all the precautions and everything that went down as far as shutting down the country.
Even though you're worried about this virus, how do you feed your family? I'm more worried about that than I am about catching something that has was a 97.95% survival rate. Wash your hands, eat well, take your probiotics and your vitamins, just do what we do during cold and flu season and just pray for the best.
Well, there it is. I'm, again, not sure how we're still here. We have had one of the worst 7 to 10 day stretches. I think it might be the worst 7 to 10 day stretch during this pandemic in terms of total cases and hospitalizations and deaths. It's been just completely out of control. Now, this guy there, he does make a subtle distinction when he says, I never thought, so maybe he does now. Maybe now, unfortunately, it took perhaps his cousin to die for him to think that this is real and it's worth the precautions that they're telling you to take. Or perhaps maybe he still doesn't think that the lockdowns and the precautions are in any bit necessary and they're an overreach. I sincerely hope that that's not the case. I, again, have no idea how we're still here. And then, you have the other guy who doesn't believe that, the cloth mask works at all. And it's just, we've had the last few days, we've had over 1,100 dead. We've had over 130,000 cases every single day. It's going to get worse. No one's doing anything. I know we have a few cities that are going on lockdowns. We have Chicago, LA, New York. They're all doing some lockdowns again because it's getting out of control. We have some other areas of the country that are spiraling out of control. South Dakota, just the other day, had a positivity rate of 68%. That's just frightening. And then the end there with the woman, and she states how she has to make the choice between going to work or not, and because her family needs food, she has kids, she has to pay a mortgage or rent or whatever. I completely understand and sympathize with that position. But let's get to why that is. So this is actually, this is just a complete failure of the federal government and Trump's administration, Congress, all the way down. They made it to where they only gave one stimulus check. They let the pandemic unemployment insurance run out. Never redid it. These things going on causes people to be in the predicament that this woman is explaining. They have a choice between not going out and then not getting income, so then they can't pay for food, they can't pay for rent, they can't get the necessities. Or they go out and just like every other American that's in the same predicament, so now you have millions of people doing the same thing, you're furthering the spread of the virus, putting yourself in danger, putting those around you in danger, and definitely furthering the spread, which is leading to more people dying. If the federal government were doing their job properly, if this society and this country was structured and working healthy and in a proper fashion, we would be getting these people, we would be getting Americans the funds they need so that they don't need to go out and further spread the virus as much as they are. We would be supplementing income in such a way, like many other Western liberal democracies have done, in such a way that you don't have to make the choice between paying your rent or mortgage and putting food on the table and risking your life or those of the lives around you, furthering the spread of the disease. But since this country has failed miserably on so many aspects of this pandemic in terms of stimulus money, taking care of its citizens, testing, tracing, mask wearing, everything, all the way down, it's been a complete failure. It continues to be a failure. And here we are, nearly a year into it, thousands dying every day, and you still have people who just have no clue, have no goddamn clue. And you still have the government not doing any kind of stimulus. Now, of course, Trump's on his way out, so like a petulant child, he will try to destroy anything he can get his hands on, like a kid throwing a temper tantrum who didn't get his way on the way out the house. He's going to do nothing to help this. He did very little to nothing before in the spring and summer, so he's going to do even less now. I'd imagine it's going to get pretty bad out there, folks. So my advice would just be, if you can stay indoors and you don't have to go out, don't. If you have to go out, limit as much as you do go out. Wear masks, social distance, wash your hands, keep your social gatherings, to very small amounts of people, and in particularly people who are following the guidelines and they are also not going out, wearing masks and doing those things. Get tested if you can. But again, I sympathize with the predicament of having to go to work to pay for the necessities and then potentially spreading the virus. But understand that that's a failure of our federal government. That's a failure of our government that we are in that position.